Yes, yes, yes. We're back. Welcome to the Jersey Crew Fantasy Football Podcast. As always, Ben and I are here to recap a week 8 for fantasy football in general and the main point, the 20th anniversary of Jersey Crew Fantasy League, and recap how we did in that league and across all of fantasy. So, how was your week 8, Ben? And how was your weekend?
Did did you see the Giants game? I'm
Yeah, I
assuming
watched it.
at least most of it. When Scatterboo went down, I'm starting on a real somber note today. When Scatterboo goes down, did you see Jackson Dart just like
Scream, yes,
visceral?
yes. I
That
saw
was that was me about my fantasy team. Like
that.
man, I love those guys so much, and I
I
know I'm
know.
like a broken record with how other people are saying the same thing. But that's how it feels to lose a fantasy game. Like,
Yeah.
you could tell he was not uttering the words were falling out of his mouth. Like, he was so honest and genuine in that moment,
Yeah, he
and,
was. He
I
was.
I don't blame him. So, I mean, just a terrible loss for the Giants, who it's hope and then a backtrack, hope and then steps back, and it just stinks. But, um, uh, I can't say that that's been my team this year. I've been on a really hot streak. Did I
Alright.
wanna go 6 in a row? Yeah, of course. So, I will say though, to last night I'm watching the Monday night game because I'm still like a sucker for fantasy football, and I'm like, crazier things have happened. Like Bill Krosky could put up 50. I don't know.
That didn't happen.
And then I'm like, oh shoot, I'm gonna lose Survivor. So this is about to
Oh,
be the worst week ever.
okay.
Thought I lost it. The game's over. I'm going to bed, and I thought I lost it, and I looked and I was like, I'm safe. So thank God, unless I'm incorrect, which would be a
No,
horrible way to find out. But
no, Jetup
um,
was alive and he had less than you. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so bad weekend. 8-0 in my other league, so I still am
Wow, good
going.
for you. Good for you.
Yeah, and then a couple wins. Actually, I went 4-1. The only one that I lost is Jersey Crew. So how did you do? How'd you
Wow.
fare?
Wow, that's
Yeah,
interesting. That's interesting.
yeah,
So another good week for you. Another good
yeah.
week for me. Honestly, a really, really good week in fantasy football. Went 5-2. Got a win.
Wow.
We'll talk about my win in here.
Yeah,
And it's crazy. I wanted to bring up this point too. The difference that you feel when you win, the day after, and when you lose. Like, and it's so funny. Like, I feel like we
yeah,
always, for some reason, we're always on the opposite sides of
yeah.
that
For real.
spectrum. Like we can never just both win and both
No.
be in the playoff picture or both lose. Well, I guess we've done that plenty probably, but in general, so it's like so funny that you finally lose after going 5 in a row, and I finally win. I went 5-2. After 8 weeks, I am in first place in 4 different leagues.
It's insane.
The crazier, the only thing more insane than that is I have no idea what players are on those teams. I really have no clue what's
Yeah,
going on. Although I do have to make really hard decisions between Mahomes and Josh Allen. So I mean, these are good. These are good problems to have.
yeah, yeah.
And of course, some of these teams are stacked, but these are all high stake teams, all all
Wow.
legit. And 4 first place after 8 weeks. Then I have a fourth, and then I have our diabolical dart. Who just is a sponsor of the show and is our team, our co-managed team, and our intro is in the playoff picture. How that happened, I don't know. We're 4-4 in that league. There's other 4-4 teams like above
Wow.
us, like a 2, and there's other So we're on the bubble for sure. But we might even be able to finish better than 6th, like in best case scenario. So how do you feel about our diabolical dart team?
That was amazing, and that was from Thursday, I'm pretty sure. We almost were, like, slated to win from Thursday on. It
Yeah,
just
true,
was
true,
a
true.
dominant week.
Yeah.
We have maybe never felt that way ever in
No, not
these.
about this one.
I mean, back to, like, Danny Boylan's time, like, we were
Yeah.
we were doing co-managed, teams for a while now,
Yeah, that's right. That's
and
right.
we tried it and then we stopped, I think, but this was such a great feeling, and it came off of another week where we won. So this is 2 wins in a row, massive like climbing back into the playoff picture here, square in the playoff picture, which feels really nice. And
Oh yeah.
the thing that I like about that team is that you can see it going really well. I'm not saying we're gonna get catapult to first place, but we've got some weapons, we've got some players, and we look through the waiver wire. There's nobody there. We can look on trades and stuff. It's kind of tricky. It's hard. It's a really challenging league, and maybe we are slowly, I don't want to, put the cart before the horse, but maybe we're slowly kind of figuring this out and getting some things that are falling, our way.
Oh, we're just gonna win every other game, and we're gonna get a bye spot. But the people want to know. The people want to know. So I put the team up on the screen on the stream. We got Drake May, who has been someone we've been high on all off season going into the season. What is he ranked number 2 quarterback in the league or something like that? Achane, he's been just dominant basically every game, steady. Yeah. Chase Brown has been down. He was one of our top picks, so he's back up and running. He looks good. We have a couple subs in probably for the bye weeks. Yeah. We got Trey McBride, who I think this is a 2.5x tight end premium league. Yep. We got Worthy, Alec Pierce, and Joe Flacco. And then we have Goddard. He's been Devonta Smith and Goddard, and Fields, who has up and down games, but just an interesting dynamic within our team. And we find ourselves in 6th place in the playoff picture and 4-4. So excited to kind of sweat that out with everyone and see if we can possibly put together a little streak here.
Oh yeah.
So happy about that. So we got a win there. What else? Survivor, still all 4 entries are live. Wow. Down to 11% in the one, 13% in the other, and the 15% in the last. So down to less than 15% of the starting entries. Still all 4 are live. The high roller one is 11 entries left. I'm one of them. The other one is 29. I'm one of them. And the other is like 40 something. And I'm one of them. So very, very interesting to see how this plays out. I mean, I'm very, very, sweating this one, and hopefully I can pull off a win. That'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Not that I'm anticipating your loss, but how much longer can you keep this up? That's amazing. And to, all those leagues, that's the hardest part too. What's your secret, or what teams do you have left? Do you have some?
It's a good question. I mean, I haven't been picking big favorites. So the one tweak that I did this year is I basically eliminated the most owned entry. So every week there's going to be a team that's going to be the most owned, the one that has the biggest spread, the Bills, and I've stayed away from picking them. And some of those have went down, and they've created people, more eliminations. Not me being not one of them. Now I'm not picking underdogs, or I'm not picking tight games, but I'm picking those in the middle where it's like I feel confident in the win, but I also know that it's not highly owned. So so if one of those other ones go down, I don't want to be a part of that pool that goes down and gets eliminated. So far, knock on wood, I've picked the right teams, and I still have decent teams left. Yeah. It's all over the place though. They're all different because I have 4 different entries. So I have no idea in which one I have which teams left, but I feel good. I really like that. So it's that's fun to sweat. The pick 5 there, we have 37 of us in there, and I'm number 2 overall in the season for record. So for most wins, I have the second most correct picks in the entire season. So there's a season, payout at the end of that. Yeah. DFS has been pretty good. I didn't cash the last 2 weeks, but still number 1 in overall rankings for the season out of the 13 of us. So just fantasy has been just on fire. Other than, Jersey Crew, but this takes me into my next little rant here. I'm making the playoffs.
Whoa. Wait. Slow down. I want you to be in the playoffs now, but explain.
No, I really think I'm looking at this. I'm like, the champ is the chump. I don't think, the chump.
That's a classic. Yeah.
And then 4-4, and I'm like, well, I just have to win the next 4 games, and I'm 500. We have 8 games to go, so we're through. Right? Is that right? We have six games to go. 6.
Yeah.
So we're through 8 games. We have 6 games to go. Potential to go 6-0 over the next 6 games brings me to 8-6. The champ is hanging out. I'm making the playoffs. I'm telling you right now. If Lamar is coming back, Brock Bowers is coming back. It's just happening.
The best thing for you and your team was that the Ravens won without Lamar.
Yeah.
Right? Like I was following that, and it's like, oh, actually, that necessitates him coming back instead of being like, he'll play, but how much or whatever. Now he's going to come back, and they're going to try to make a push.
I'm just saying. No, I would have to really win, 5 of the next 6 games, and just to have a chance. And I don't know if I will, but it was half joking, but the half that I'm being serious is like, that's how different you feel after a win and after a loss. Like I literally get one win. It's my second win all year. And I'm like, I can make the playoffs. It's you know what I mean? Your confidence is just so different after that. But yeah, so I'm just thinking like how big of a difference it is when you win and compared to when you lose. And just coming off that win, I just feel a little bit more confident, and I'm hoping for some magic in the Jersey Crew. So you're kind of on the other end of the spectrum. You're coming off a loss. You did win 5 in a row. You do sit in second overall, tied for first in the record, along with 5 other teams. So how do you feel coming off that loss into going into week 9?
I feel fine. I mean, I can't really complain. I think my biggest thing is I gotta make some moves or something.
Okay.
I don't. There's some problems in my team that are could be tricky going forward. So
Okay.
I might need to make some trades. There's also like not a whole lot of people out on our waiver wire. So it's okay. Everything's okay. It's fine. It just feels devastating to get that loss when it's I'm on such a hot streak. And
Yeah.
I don't know that I could have beat him. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know that I could have gotten what did he get? 160 something, right? So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that. However, Bijan has a normal game or a great game, and I'm at, let's say, at like 130, 135. And all my guys aren't on bye. Kyron is in there. Maybe he gets me another 20 compared to JCM's 2.5. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
there's a chance that my team itself, independent of what the starting lineup was, could have beaten 166. It'd be hard, but I'm feeling okay. It's just not fun.
Yeah, no, that stinks. Any way too early playoff bracket regrets?
No.
Do you have any regrets? Okay, all right. Just checking. This is not like the Pack Attack email that he sends, and then from there on it's over. No, okay, all right.
No. It's the opposite.
Okay.
I need to give other people a chance to kind of get back in this thing and make it interesting. I did call that it would not be Joe and Sean in those seeds, right? I did say like one of them will they won't be there. They won't be playing each other in round 1. So I think that's true.
Yeah.
Tough loss for Joe though. I know we'll talk about it, but that is really an interesting storyline that's coming to the surface here for us.
Yeah, 4-4. I mean, he's the same record as our Diabolical Dart, and he definitely has a better team. Has a better team. 4-4. Right. And the rest of the top 5 is 6-2, all at the same record, which is really interesting. So yeah, there's a couple discussion points I want to talk about. One being the 6th place here. Is there a possibility that Ladies, Coyotes, the Godfather finds a way into those that last spot? What else did I want to talk? Oh, Sean being first overall for the first time, I believe. His record and most points in the league. So number 1 overall. I want to talk a little bit about that. And then Power Rankings is back. So I did get to run the last few weeks of points and optimal points, and we are going to look over the Power Rankings for after 8 weeks. For the Jersey Crew. So a couple of things, and then comments, some from the league mates. I actually got three. So we'll go over different comments from them. So the first thing I want to kind of bring up though, as I look at the standings, we have that up here, is that 6th place. So we know the top 5 teams. We can debate and argue as long as we want who the best is. Most likely at this point, they're making playoffs. We said that. And most likely, in my opinion, the champ is probably, a way better team than his record suggests. And he's probably going to make playoffs. But if for some reason, a Gangrene or the champ or whoever, Jet Up, did he win again? I feel like he won again. So any of those guys fall out. Do you think there's any possibility a Ladies or a Coyotes at 3 and 5 could sneak up and take a playoff spot?
I do, because conversely, like I just think not everybody in the top 6 right now can stay there. I think it would just be quite a feat for that. I think you called it last week with our way too early playoff bracket that those 6 teams could go right into the playoffs from right there. I think that would be more unlikely,
right,
than somebody finding a way to sneak in. DeChamp loses another game. This is scary, and I'm not saying he's the one that's going to slip. I just mean like He's now 4-5. Let's go crazy here. He's 4-5. And he's got to climb back now. 5 losses. That the best you can be there is 9-5. You get another loss, the best you can be is 8-6, and that's where you're really playing with fire, right?
Yep.
So
I mean, he has the most points or second most points in the league. So
right.
kind of no matter who he's tied with, he's gonna be first.
It's gonna be really hard to beat, yeah.
But yeah, I mean that is just interesting. And I think you made that same statement where it's going to be a little scary if he loses last week. And he did lose.
Oh, yeah.
And you know, it was a little bit of a, you know, a Monday Night Madness situation. You know, Sean came back and his Kelsey and Mahomes and Kelsey stack hit big in a big way, and he was able to win that, and he's sitting first overall. So, but just interesting to see. And again, I half joke about, you know, the 2-6 is making it, but just seeing the 4-4 at 6 spot makes it feel more realistic. You know, with the 6-2s, like again, it'd be tough. It'd be tough.
Hard.
But 4-4, now you're talking only one game in front of ladies, one game in front of Coyotes, and that could switch. So, but it's a champ, you know, and he's one of the, I think on paper and his team structure is one of the best teams in the league, in my opinion. So it's kind of weird that he's on that spot. So didn't know how you felt about that 6th spot. If anybody could kind of sneak in and get that.
And you know, it's hard to say anything definitive, but that's what's tough. And so, actually, what I'm curious to hear your thoughts on who you think are the top 3 of the top 6 and the bottom 3 of the top 6, because I want to then know after that, like, who would you wish is in that 6th spot? I think it's the worst. I'll preface it with, I think it's the worst possible team to be in that 6th spot right now, like you just said, right? It's the champ. He's got the most points. He's probably way better than his record.
Yeah.
But yeah, who do you think top 3, bottom 3 of that top 6?
Oh no, Jet Up just lost, so he was 6-1. Yeah. So like the bottom 3, I'll start with that. In my opinion, is Jet Up. This is tough. Jet Up, Giants, and Cowboys, right? And I guess Gangrene. But I like Gangrene, and I know. He has Rashee Rice just coming into mid-season form.
Yeah.
He has JT as a running back. I guess, because then it would be Uncle Buck, Benz, and DeChamp is here. Or I say, you know what? Maybe that record suggests something that maybe DeChamp isn't as good. But I mean, I love his team. I really like his team. Yep. And again, we got to remember we're in bye Mageddon, and you know we're in bye weeks right now, and so. What we're seeing, the results from these weeks aren't necessarily their full strength team,
right?
With all their starting players. So yeah, I'm going to stick to my gut. I'm going to say Uncle Buck, Benz, and DeChamp is here are the top 3 teams in my opinion. And then you got Jet Up, Giants and Cowboys, and Gangrene. I think out of those 3, Gangrene is number 1, but you have some type of mix there in the bottom 3 of the top 6. That would be mine. That would be my guess right now. Maybe we could look and confirm with power rankings to see if anything is similar on there. But then you have this weird 3-5 teams. Then you got the 2-6 teams. So very interesting structure. But just now that we have a 6th place team at 4-4, I feel like it's more realistic that maybe it does shake up. You know, maybe something happens. So, and one of those teams could be ladies. I mean, because isn't she been doing pretty well over the last couple of weeks?
Her scoring has been insane, and it's not been subtle. You know, like she starts with 103 and 107, and then she goes 127, 156, 130, 146, has a very down week, and then goes 157. So she's not having these skids or these stretches where she's scoring 99 and then 100 and then 80 or whatever.
Right.
She scored 9. She had a 99 sandwich with 146 and 157. Like that's a real indicator of something there, I believe.
Can you guess, and we'll go over the power rankings, what ranking she is in?
Oh, that's such a good question. I'm gonna say, like, it can't possibly be in the top 6, but I'm gonna say it's right on that, like 7. I'm gonna say 7.
4 in the Jersey Crew.
Sorry,
ladies love G-Man. 4th overall in the amount of points. 4th overall in the power rankings after 8 weeks.
Wow.
Yep. Interesting there.
Oh, there's something there.
And I think it's because, what do you just read, the last 4 games or something like that, 4 or 5? And that's the case. We're 8 weeks through, but the last 4 games or so, she has been on a tear. So I'm just wondering. That could bring us to also the first comment. So we got a comment from Saz. We'll bring up the standings. Oh no.
Whatever I said, I'm sorry.
All right, so she's just saying, I'm hoping I can continue to keep winning and break through that 6th spot, which we're just talking about. Never say never. I'm not giving up. 2nd highest points this week, I think. Yeah, and 4th highest points this season, as we just talked about. Slowly but steady, your sis continues. Should be an interesting next few weeks. I think things are going to get spicy. So that's from Sarah. She thinks things are going to get spicy. Here's hoping that she does well, but she also thinks a few of the higher spots are going to change in the next few weeks. So just my thoughts, she said. So yeah, that's interesting. Any comments for Sarah?
Yeah, I don't agree with the higher spots changing. I think those are pretty much going to stay the same. The only thing that's going to change there is that I'm going to go into number 1 probably. But she's very right about, like, it's going to get crazy here. She is 1 game behind the champ. Right. And I know he's got 104 more points than her, which is brutal. But if she's the 4th highest in points, right? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
And he happens to be number 2. There's something to say about that. Mm-hmm. This guy gets 1 loss. Now you guys are tied in the record, and if she gets the win, and let's see who she's playing this week. But there's hope. I think I said before, like Star Wars, but there was no hope. Like Luke Skywalker has come out of nowhere. Like she is on track here to be the exception, I would say.
Interesting. It'll be very fun to see what happens there. She'll be fighting over the champ, and he is another one that I got a comment for or from. So Joe, he reached out with a comment. He said the champ is angry this week. Yeah, that's what he said. I would not want to be Giants and Cowboys next week. I will be taking my frustrations out on him.
Oh, that's good. That's good stuff.
So he's not happy about the Uncle Buck late comeback. I think he scored like 60 points or something on Monday night to win that game. So that's annoying to him. He's angry, and he says he does not want to be, or what did he say? I would not want to be Giants and Cowboys because I'm going to take my frustrations on him. So what do you think about that? I guess that's the game. I mean, that could be the game of the week too. We'll go over that. The champ is here versus the team that just scored 160 on you and kind of frustrated you. How do you feel about that matchup with the champ and Giants and Cowboys?
I mean, justice is a real thing, like in that. No, Matt just had a great game last week. And so do I think that Joe could now come out and put up 170? Yeah, he's done it. Like, we've seen him do it this season. I think he put up 180 at one point, right? And this is going to be a fantastic game. If he's going to get back on track, number 1 would be great to get a win next week. Number 2 would be great to get a win against a 6-2 team. Yeah. You go 5-4, he goes 6-3. Now, like Sarah says, it's even spicier because now all this could get shaken up in the, let's say, the 4, 5, 6 type of range between those 2 teams. So, yeah, I think Joe has the highest odds to come out of that spot.
Yeah, me too. He's not happy. I mean, why would you be? I mean, second most points, you're 6th. Everyone else is 6-2. You just feel like you're left out of the party. You know what I mean? Like they just didn't invite him, and he's not happy about that. So, and then our last comment we got was from another top 5 member, Gang Green, JR. Right. He has some thoughts. I'm going to summarize some of this, but he's super excited with his record, especially based on the draft position. So I'm trying to remember, maybe 10 or 11 or something like that. I forget, but he's super excited about that. Taylor, JT, has been carrying him, and Rice was a huge addition coming off the suspension, which I agree with. Yeah. We kind of buried that lead during the year that he was a part of Gang Green's team, and he was able to win a bunch of games and then get Rashee Rice on top of that. And he has been on fire. I have been super lucky the past 3 weeks with opponents having big time players on bye. So he's being honest there. And then although he's tied for first, I'm not scoring as many points as the other team and nervous for the next 3 weeks with Taylor and Rice having bye weeks. and some injuries on his team as well. So maintaining a competitive roster could be difficult in weeks 10 and 11, but hey, we still got 3 more games even after that. For what it's worth, I feel DeChamp here is the best team and it is a team to beat.
Wow.
Sorry, Ben.
Wow. I respect it though. I don't mind that. I mean, I hate it a little bit, but no, I respect it. Truly, we've said it all year. He's a crazy good team.
Let's see, Gangrene 900. So he's not even in the 1,000-point club. So that makes sense, you know. And he's thinking about that too. He's like, all right, yeah, I'm 6-2, but I'm not scoring a bunch of points. How am I going to beat Uncle Buck? How am I going to beat DeChamp? And he's praising his team, and he's 4-4 right now. So interesting dynamic with the top 6 teams. Maybe a little bit of a playoff bubble picture type situation for the 6th spot. And then Ladies and Coyotes in 3 and 5, and then maybe, just maybe, the Godfather or one of these 2 and 6 teams wins, 6 in a row. Unlikely, but possible, and then is in the picture as well. But other than that, it's really going to be, I think, those 3 teams fighting it out with DeChamp, Ladies, and Coyotes to see who's going to take that last position over the next 6 weeks. So,
yeah, I think JR makes a good point about the buys, and I don't want to use his own point against him, but I think this is kind of what he was getting at. He gets some wins because of buys, not solely because of the buys, but it helps. That's not going to remain in the playoffs. That's not going to be the case in the later, weeks of the season. So how does his team fare in those matchups? We'll see. It's the opposite for Joe, where those buys are going to be gone for him, and so he's going to have those players back, and he's going to fare much better in some of those matchups. So I would say Joe is really 5-3, and JR is really 5-3 as well. Let's have them trade a win and a loss.
Yeah, almost feels that way. Yeah, that's funny. So good to hear from you guys. If anybody ever wants to send any comments in or tell us how you feel, let us know. Yeah. But it's good to hear from you, and I agree with all of that. I mean, we're very invested. And this brings me to my next discussion point is to see how you're doing for our 20th anniversary. So we have to look back and say, all right, this is not just any season. This is a 20th anniversary season. It's winner take all. It's one league. We're all fighting and battling for each other for one top prize and a ring. So taking all that in and just thinking about that, and then looking at your season for Ben's, and you look at your first 8 games, how do you feel about the 20th anniversary season?
I mean, it's so special. I'm not going to lie. I'd be happy if I was 4-4 right now. If I was in that 6th spot, I'd be happy if I even had a shot for the playoffs.
Yeah.
To be in the spot where I now have to be taken down to get out of the playoffs, it's a dream.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do it in any year, the year to do it is the 20th anniversary.
Yep.
Because it's the 20th anniversary, but also because there's no divisions. So what a year to be up on top. And it's not luck. I've got the points to back it up. You have to look at all these things, right?
Right.
Everyone's been hit by injury now. I don't think anyone is unscathed, myself included. So can I make it through those injuries? So far it's been 1-1 or 2-1 since my major injury hit me. That's all I can ask for. I'm going to keep trudging, keep going through here. But it has been a very special 20th anniversary season.
Yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, I'm on the other end where it's does it even matter? And maybe I get a couple wins and it will start to matter. But just the league in general, the vibe, the atmosphere, Matt and Q and Joe and everyone getting involved and talking, Gangrene, they all have a chance. I mean, the top 5 teams being 6-2 must all think to themselves, I can win the championship.
Actually win. Yeah.
I can act. Yeah. And that's not the case every year. So weird. This is the only league that I'm a part of or seen in a while that has 5 6-2 teams. I mean, every single one of them, plus the champ. I mean, I know his record's not great, but he must look at his team saying, I have a chance to win. So we have half the league that think that they can win the championship on the 20th anniversary.
And not to mention the somewhat silent assassin, Uncle Buck, just kind of moving in what is it? Real G's moving silence. Lasagna. That's Sean this year. Just kind of weaving his way into this amazing. We're about to look at it, and if you're on YouTube, we're looking at it right now. But what a way for him to be playing the 20th anniversary as former commissioner, and came on the show early this season, and that's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah. Number one overall in the power ranking. So we'll look at this real quick. We checked it out last at the after week 4. So we're after week 8 now. So 4 weeks later, and we have Uncle Buck sitting on top with number one in the power rankings, number one overall points, number one optimal points, and number one optimal lineup equity. Just a full sweep, number one in every
Wow.
single category. So congrats there to Uncle Buck. No surprise, even though he's 4-4, number 2, DeChamp, number 2 overall points, number 2 optimal points, and number 5 in optimal lineup equity. And rounding out the top 3 after 8 weeks is Benz, number 3 overall, number 3 in total points, number 3 in optimal points. So there's no coincidence here. The top 3 teams in the power rankings are both the top 3, 1, 2, and 3 in total points, 1, 2, and 3 in optimal points. So interesting to see that. Ladies comes in 4th right after that. Just 4th, just unbelievable. Giants and Cowboys after her rounding out the top 5. So anything that sticks out to you with the power rankings after 8 weeks?
I don't like that I'm 8th in equity. Is that right? I'm reading that right?
Yep.
And now it's practically 90%. So I can't really, like, we have a league that pays attention and a league that is really trying to start the right guys. And so it's still 90%, or 89%, but 8th does not feel good. And I feel like this is a recurring theme for me over the years of your power rankings. Like, my equity is just never good. I'm going to take it, as I have so many good players. And sometimes it's true. I don't think it's true this year. I think my bench is looking a little bit rough. And so I think it kind of makes sense. These buys have hit me way more than I would have thought. Like, I just thought.
Well, it's because it's on top of injuries, is my opinion.
Right. Yeah. So that sticks out first. Like, when you look at the top 3, you got the consistent in rank and then optimal. And rank, optimal, and total points.
Yep.
That's where the departure comes. It's like, oh boy, is that going to start to hurt my team a little bit later? I think Sean with the quadruple crown here, or whatever you want to call it, like that is extremely impressive. And after 8 weeks too, Joe's right where you see him, and just all the accolades here for Sarah, just staying with it. She could have totally checked out and been like, that's just my fate for this year. She is staying with it, and that is impressive, and it means something. These power rankings definitely mean something. So
I agree. I think that's awesome. Good top 4 teams there, and it makes a lot of sense. If you care, or if you believe in the analytics, the upside model that we use, you are number 1. And that's why, because because you have the low optimal lineup equity. So it's basically saying that, hey, you're 3rd in points and you're 8th in equity. So you could even have more points. So your upside model ranking is number 1 in the league.
Let's go.
So at least you have a chance. But so does every top 6 team right now, I'm sure, thinks they have a chance to win it all for the 20th anniversary. So I'll send this out after 8 weeks. Looks about what I expected. Definitely Uncle Buck. And then ladies comes in as a shocker for number 4 overall in our power rankings. So
I just a couple other like tiny little things to point out here. I do think it's cool that Coyotes has some upside potentially. You'll see that he's number 2 on that. I think it's worth talking about with Matt, how he's kind of like really consistent in a way. Because yes, he's 5, 6, 6, and 7, and then 6 as far as his upside goes, but that's kind of a nice spot to be. Like, you're not too high, like you're not on the higher end, but you're definitely not on the lower end by any means.
Right.
So a real nice little stat there. Jet up with also 2nd rank in upside, tied for number 2, right? Yep. Tied with 3 people. So there's something there too. I don't know that I believe that says as much as it does about somebody like Sarah making a little run. I think because Jetup has the record and there's some little things going wrong here and there. I wonder what that means. Does that mean something as the season goes on? But just a couple things to point out about some other teams.
Yeah, we talked about his quarterback situation too, and you never know what's going to happen over these next couple of weeks. And being 6-2 is a very comfy position, but it could get pretty dicey if you lose 2 or 3 in a row.
Right.
And you never know what's going to happen. I think Ladies is the surprise on the high end, and I think Gangrene is the surprise on the low end. And he kind of made his own comments, and he mentioned that. So kudos to him, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, you're ranked 8th. You're out of the playoffs picture in the power rankings, out of the top 6, and you're ranked 5th in the rank or record. So yeah, I could see him thinking, all right, what does this next 6 weeks mean to me? So we got 6 weeks to go in fantasy football, and it's going to be really, really important what happens over these next couple leading up to the last 3 weeks. And your last 3 weeks is like death row, right? Or something. Yeah. And that's where, I mean, there's still buys, but I feel like there's a little bit less of the buy pressure for that. So
yeah.
What else did I want to go over? Let's talk about or let's announce our Survivor. Let's go over Survivor and go over that. Now we're through 8 weeks, which is 6 eliminations. So we have half the league eliminated and half the league is still alive. Unfortunately, Jetup scored 101 points and was eliminated. I believe he was the 3rd lowest points, but the other 2 were already eliminated. And then so Jetup was eliminated. So that is 6 teams. We have Uncle Buck that is immune. Once again, this has to be the 3rd or 4th time that he is immune. And he, which was interesting, was the 3rd highest score. But the first 2 highest scores of last week were already eliminated. I don't think that's ever happened. I've read down like one team name, because like if you're eliminated, you're usually not scoring the most in the week. So you know what I mean? Like you might have 2 of the teams that had the top 2 scores of last week have already been eliminated. So that leaves Uncle Buck immune from week 9 with 153 points. And again, a $360 pot with 6 remaining entries. So let's go over this. There's some surprising names on here. So Benz, not surprising, is still alive. Uncle Buck, not surprising, is still alive. DeChamp is still alive. Gangrene is still alive. These 2 are surprising. Coyotes and Groovy Q are still alive within the Survivor pool.
Come on now.
Isn't that surprising?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. But this is why it's so fun. You have to just play the second game each week. You have to root for your team to score a certain amount of points, and sometimes it works out. And the hard part of my brain is like remembering who's immune and who is already eliminated.
Right.
Because I often will look, let's say like halfway through the day on Sunday, the 4:00 games are getting started, or at halftime or something. And I'm like, where am I sitting at Survivor? And then it's like, all right, I got to really know who's out, who's immune. And it's always a little bit of like tension no matter what. So you got to score some big points in these next few weeks to survive.
Yeah, because look who you're going against too. Yeah. Like, so I might switch it up on the email, and I'll put out the last 6 teams that are alive, and I'll just go down, and just remove that so people know. But yeah, it's getting close. I think we have 2 more weeks, and then there's no more immunity either. It's just whoever's the lowest score is out. But so far we still have immunity. Uncle Buck is immune, and Benz is still alive. So you still got some. I mean, obviously you have the championship to sweat for, but you even have this on top of it too as well.
I want it.
Okay.
I really want it. And yeah, good for Coyotes and Groovy Q. Still
I know, that's just surprising. I wouldn't have guessed that, but they're there somehow. Oh man. All right, let's see. Maybe we'll do next week. We'll finish on next week, kind of look over some of these matchups. Of course, a lot of us haven't gone in there and switched the lineups yet, but we have Godfather and Pack Attack, 2 lowly, 2-6 teams, not a very fun game. But maybe I win and I win and I win and I win and I just make the playoffs. I don't know. Something's telling me that. Benz, you got Coyotes, so a pretty good matchup there. Brady Gaga and Groovy Q, decent matchup there. So these are 2 big games that I see for the week. The champ is here versus Giants and Cowboys suck. So Matt and Joe, best friends, they're ready to go head to head. The champ can't really lose again. Like he really can't.
Not really. Yeah.
And Giants and Cowboys keeps finding a way to win. And then the second big game is Jetup and Uncle Buck, both 1st and 3rd overall, both 6-2, both fighting. But it looks like Jetup might have some buys. He has to look over his schedule. But and by the way, I want to make a disclaimer because I have people watching. I don't know if you saw, But Jet Up, Shane, he dropped Justin Fields on Sunday.
I just saw the transaction and I saw your little referee jersey next to it. I was like, what happened?
So this was completely being transparent and everything. He dropped within 30 seconds. He just texted me immediately and saying, I did not mean, I meant to drop Tyrod Taylor, not Justin Fields.
Sure.
So immediately he texted me. It was like almost like 12 or 1 o'clock. So it was like getting close to lock, like where this game was at. I had to go in, figure out a way to get it back just because he told me immediately, and it was definitely a mistake. He said, he's not the greatest manager, but he did not mean to drop the starter and keep the bench player. So I made that change, and he ended up winning. So sorry about that, guys. But I respected that because he notified me immediately. So that happened. But anyway, he plays Uncle Buck. They're both 6-2, and that's a great game. And then the last one in the middle here is Gangrene. And Ladies love G-Man, and Ladies got to find another win, keep that streak alive. So any matchups for this week coming up that stick out to you or that you're going to be watching?
Yeah, those last two that you mentioned, I think the Jet Up Uncle Buck game is really interesting. I think Sean could probably be 8-0. That's how good his team is. And so you're talking about a 6-2 versus 6-2. That's probably a little bit not as accurate as it feels. I think this is where the road parts for Jet Up. And does he go the one direction of really being a contender, or does he kind of slide into that more so pretender lane because of all these roster issues with Jaden Daniels? And does he get back and play well? And he keeps starting Justin Fields. And if that's the case, does he get more consistent? He's got some real serious backups in there with Brashard Smith and Jaden Higgins.
Right.
You look at his bench, and okay, Garrett Wilson's hurt and on bye, and other question marks there. Now he's going to get Amon-Ra back in. That'll feel really good. If he gets some healthiness in his Garrett Wilson and Jaden Daniels, I think he's got a good shot. But I do think this is where it could get really hard for him. And I like Sean just to kind of keep pushing forward with what he's been doing. And then on the other game, this is really interesting. Does Sarah expose Gangrene as a team that has been having a little bit of luck, with the buys? Maybe not. Maybe Gangrene shows that he's legit 6-2 and could be 7-2. And with Rashee Rice, like you mentioned, he's going to be a force now. And or does Sarah put up 155 as she has been doing? So I like those two matchups a lot to watch.
Me too. Gangrene too. It's like, now that I'm thinking of it, he makes points about not being, able to score as much. He has JT. So what happens if he didn't have Jonathan Taylor?
Right.
He's scoring 3 touchdowns for the last 3 games in a row. And he's still not, quote unquote, putting up enough points, which I agree with when we look at the power rankings. So yikes, I didn't think of that. But I do think of it like as that's a heck of a player. And then you got Rashee Rice as well. That's a heck of a player. So I don't know. That's a tough one. And then Ladies, I mean, now that I think of it, back to our funny episode, we said surrender, Now she's ripping off these games with 150 plus points. She's like, I'll show you guys.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because your team and hers are pretty similar if you think about the fact that you started really hot but just couldn't get those wins.
Right.
But you started hot with your points. She started not so hot.
Correct.
And then got points and still didn't win every game where she got points. But now it's like, does she start winning some of those matchups and get back to 500 within the next 2 weeks? Maybe. I think Gangrene's a good matchup there where it's winnable, but definitely not easy or like it's possible. But that is a heck of a matchup for her.
Yeah, it is. We are done with 8 weeks. 8 weeks. We're on episode 10 for the podcast. 10 episodes this year already. We're done through 8 weeks of fantasy football with 6 weeks to go. We got 5 teams at 6-2 fighting for the 20th anniversary ring. And then we got some teams fighting just to make playoffs this year. A very exciting league, and it's coming together now after 8 weeks of who's who and who's going to have a chance and who's going to have to fight to get in there. And it's going to be an interesting couple weeks in front of us. So I'm excited. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, just to kind of emphasize what you're saying. I'm looking at the game logs to do some waiver wire pickups or whatever, starts and I see that there's less games left in our season, and more games that we've already played. So it's crazy that we're this far in, and there's the clock is ticking.
Yeah.
So
it's almost there. We're getting close to the end, and we are going to be back for next week. So good luck out there this week, Ben, and get a W.
Yeah, you as well. You never know. You maybe just made a crazy call that could come true.
Hot take. Playoffs. Here we come.